Good morning, sir. Are you Esker Boyin?
Yes, ma'am.
And will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
He will, Your Honor.
Mr. Boyin, in cause number 25, DCCR 0351, the state has elected to proceed on the lesser included offense of a Class A misdemeanor assault from March 5th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed those documents on the computer, did you go over them with Mr. Parker?
Since that paper, the computer room over.
Yeah.
And do you understand what you signed with him?
Not all like clear set in my mind, but
Okay. Well, do you understand that if I follow this agreement that you've made, which is for a 2-year deferred probation, that you wouldn't be able to change your mind later?
yeah.
Okay? And you understand that the agreement that you've
What
reached...
is probation? It's
So-
my first time
It's flex.
criminalized as a criminal.
So,
Locked up as a criminal. All
right.
It's affected disorder.
right, I understand, Mr. Parker.
As I know, I was in jail and I blacked out. The next thing I know, I'm in the hospital.
Okay,
I go to Spindle Top now.
I understand. I need to make
I've
sure,
explained to him, Judge, that the required probation, he'd have to report once a month. He has some fines and fees that we go with that. There's no fine. There's just the court cost.
probation is where you have a supervision officer that makes sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Community.
What?
Not get in trouble.
In trouble for what?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reset the case, Mr. Boyin. I'm going to have a doctor come visit with you to make sure you understand everything that's going on before we go forward, okay? So when they come out to the jail or visit with you online, you need to make sure and visit with them, answer all their questions.
Sit in jail?
Yes, sir. I got to make sure,
Jesus Christ, no.
I got to make sure you understand everything
No,
that's going
my
on.
first time blacking out like that. I was in jail and I
Okay.
didn't get fed. I was naked
Okay.
and I blacked out.
We're going to go back with the
That's my
bailiff.
first time I was doing anything like this.
We're going to make sure you can go back with the bailiff. Go ahead.
Oh,
Good morning, you're Antoine Dill?
Yes, I'm in.
And Mr. Dill, you were previously in court and entered pleas of true to counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. On probation for the second-degree felony offense of burglary of a habitation, placed on probation. I think the dates in this updated report are... must be wrong. It says on May 8th, 2025, he met with the high needs officer for the initial visit. Should that be May 2024?
Yes.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure. So, placed on probation back in April of 2024 for that offense. The allegations, failure to report, failure to work, testing positive, that didn't do the theft prevention class, behind in fees, and behind in restitution. There was no agreement, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Mr., and I've received an updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Well, Judge.
Any additions or corrections to that report?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
I will say, other than Ms. Court has any addition.
Okay.
I would like to hear talk.
Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
Judge, this situation, from talking with my client as well as members of his family, is definitely one that his substance abuse issue is something that he definitely needs to address. He's willing to, he understands that that's, definitely been in his way as far as definitely trying to complete his probation successfully. I would also like to add to that after speaking with him and with some of his family members that I don't believe he was on any type of mental health or or any type of conditions dealing with his probation.
He was
I know it's
high needs.
Because from talking with him, there's definitely some things he has gone through in his past that I think affect him and are triggers for him. And I believe that, if he's able to get that type of help, to help with that, I think that would definitely help with the substance abuse issue. I believe there are vehicles available through community supervision that can address that. He's more than willing to accept that help at this point, understands he needs it. I know it looks like the recommendation in the updated PSI from probation is for ISF. It's something that they would recommend. He's more than willing to comply with that and try to work with that as much as possible. If there is anything that's available that has some type of aftercare or anything, he's more than willing to do that as well. Especially, like I was saying, as far as, any treatment he can get as far as, that would definitely help with some of the traumatic things he's gone through in his past. I think that would definitely help with the substance abuse issue going forward for him, Judge.
Okay, and the recommendation isn't necessarily ISF, it's if I were to continue,
right.
but the recommendation sounds like they've exhausted all efforts that, anyway, Ms. Smolfino?
Judge, I certainly respect all the efforts that Ms. Core has put into this defendant, and I don't ever like to overstep what the recommendation of the probation department is with respect to trying to help a probationer, but my read of it is that it's probably time for revocation, but I certainly would defer to what you all.
Well, it sounds like that's the recommendation of probation as well, really. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean, sure, go ahead.
Please speak. I have made a lot of mistakes in my life. I really have. But I beg you, Your Honor, please give me another chance. And
But you begged me when you were here before.
Yes, ma'am. And I got out, and the second day I was back on the streets. I did not have a plan for my life outside of just getting free. I met with the ASAP team, and they really gave me a lot of inspiration, a lot of hope so that I can change my life. Granted, Ms. Core has done an amazing job as my supervisor, and I apologize to her profusely, but I am not someone who wants to waste away in a jail cell.
Well,
I am someone who wants to.
Here's the thing, Mr. Dill. When I looked back at your original pre-sentence report,
Yes, ma'am.
there wasn't an agreement in that case. It was a cap. And the reason for that cap is because you already have felony criminal history.
Yes, ma'am.
You've already had 2 felony probations that were both revoked.
Yes.
And then I gave you probation again because you stood there and did just what you're doing right now. You saying the words.
Please.
You
Yes,
need to stop because it's not going to get any better,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
By what you can say. I appreciate that you probably would like to do what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
But you've been given every opportunity. Probation's worked with you. Again, those felony probation revocations, one was in 19, one was in 2021. It's not like they were a long time ago. You've been given every opportunity on probations now 3 times. 3 times. And she worked with, when I'm reading through this pre-sentence report, Ms. Core tried to contact you, she tried to
I didn't
reschedule.
have a phone. I was just texting her. I was homeless. I have been homeless a lot of my life.
But that's what probation's for, is to help you. You have to go to probation. You can't keep using those things as an excuse.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 6 freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, find you guilty of burglary of a habitation.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to sentence you to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification. I need you to sign that with Mr. Lewis. It shows that this was not an agreement, so you do have some limited rights to appeal. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read that written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk to Mr. Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand this isn't what you want. Take advantage of it. And when you get out, take advantage of opportunities in the community because there are some that can help you.
Thank you.
Right? You can go back with
I
the,
want to say one last thing to you, Judge. I will change my life.
I hope so, for you.
For me.
Yeah, I hope so. I really truly do. All right, sign that document. All right, are you Victoria Bailey?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Bailey is in 25 DCCR 0170 charged with assault on a public servant, and in 25 DCCR 0278 charged with assault of hospital personnel. And Ms. Bailey was evaluated for competency to stand trial by Dr. Rapon. I received that report dated April 22nd of 2025. Dr. Rapon makes the finding in each of these cases that Ms. Bailey is currently not competent to stand trial and that inpatient treatment for competency restoration is warranted. Is there any other evidence with regard to competency? Mr. Parker?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Nichols?
No, Your Honor.
Then at this time, based on that report, I am going to find Ms. Bailey not competent to stand trial, order that inpatient treatment for competency restoration be provided at the appropriate facility, and that at that facility for a period of not to exceed 120 days from the date Ms. Bailey gets there, and we will await to hear if she has been restored at the end of that 120 days. You can go back with the bailiff, ma'am.
120 days?
Well, they're going to send you to a hospital to get you some help to make sure you understand everything better. And so cooperate with everything they want you to do, and we'll get you back here and get your cases taken care of, okay?
So I'm going to the hospital, then back to jail?
Yes, ma'am.
120 days at the hospital?
Well, it depends if you do what they say at the hospital and follow all the instructions, medication, whatever it is, so that you have a better understanding of everything that's going on. Okay?
I don't need medicine to understand.
You can go back with the bailiff.
I don't get it. Why y'all taking me to the hospital, then back to jail? What does that mean?
One allegation that would have been proved up is a misdemeanor assault from last year that was never filed by the police department.
Okay.
It looks like we don't need to proceed on that.
So it looks like the recommendation is substance abuse.
ISS, right? Or substance abuse, ISS.
Well, it actually says substance abuse cognitive, and we can't do both. So
Is there one more than the other that is on this? Understanding that the problems are both cognitive and drug related. In your opinion, what do you think is best?
Cognitive first with JCI applicant, just substance.
okay, that would make sense.
And so that would be I understand this isn't an agreement, I don't think, but this is what we're asking the court to do based on the pleas that have been entered in the probation's report.
I guess we're on the record. In talking with Mr. Blunt, I think that he will do, obviously he's not gonna refuse ISF. He was going to suggest that he's using, or has used marijuana or THC in the past to cope with anxiety issues in lieu of ISF to perhaps try to pursue something through MHMR.
Well, he didn't just use THC, he also used methamphetamine, and I'm pretty sure that's not very good for anxiety.
Well, he's not contesting ISF.
Yeah. So, Mr. Blunt, you're on probation for an extremely serious offense. I could be sending you to prison today for a very long time for violating your probation. Sounds like probation's willing to work with you. You've done some positive things while you're on probation, which are good, that you are going to treatment. You've made a great deal of progress. Those are the things that I'm really concerned about, but they're not the only things I'm concerned about. You've got to follow all of the rules, not just some of them. You've got to get this drug deal kicked. If you don't, you're going to go to prison over drugs instead of really what the underlying offense is. Do you understand?
Yes.
We're going to give you the opportunity. We're going to give you treatment. You take advantage of it and change that part of your life. Great. If you don't, you're back in here, and this is going to be zero tolerance. There's no messing up at this point.
Yes,
Do you understand?
Yes,
if the treatment that you're getting through JCDI is not enough, it's going to be up to you to be a grown-up and go to probation and say, I'm feeling tempted, I need more help. Nobody wants to go into custody for more help, but it's better to go in for 90 days than it is to go to prison for up to 20 years, right? Okay. So in cause number 15-21380, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 2 and 3 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the recommendation of the district attorney in probation and continue you on probation in order that you enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. And then when you're released, you will enter and successfully complete the JCDI program. These programs are doing two different things. The first one is to help you make better decisions. It's about thinking and making better decisions. The JCDI program is the drug intervention program to help you with what you need, hopefully, to stop using drugs. So you're going to have all the tools that you need to make these better decisions, and then it's going to be up to you. Continue doing everything you're supposed to through your treatment and other things like that. It sounds like that hasn't been an issue. You're still on a deferred probation. You're still not convicted of this offense. If you're back in here again, in all likelihood, you will be convicted and you will be going to prison for a very long time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're Christopher Bushnell?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Bushnell, you were previously in court, entered pleas of guilty to the third-degree felony offense of evading arrest or detention with the use of a vehicle, and the second-degree felony offense of engaging in organized criminal activity. Those were for agreements of a 10-year probation deferred in each of those cases. I have received the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections to the report?
Just that it may indicate that he doesn't take full responsibility, but after speaking with him, he does take full responsibility for his actions and involvement in both cases.
I've also reviewed jail incident reports. Have you both been given a copy of those?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're 17 now?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think he turns 18 until.
December 26th.
And Judge, if we need to go back and renegotiate an offer, obviously he's not even out of custody yet, and this is how he's acting.
Well, and
Your Honor, obviously due to his age, I want him to have the opportunity to get his life together, obviously not going into adulthood with felony convictions. I have preached to him the importance of following the rules and not...
you can't do it, can you?
Okay.
You cannot. 21 incident reports since January 25th of this year. 21. Fighting, calling officers names, stealing food, instigating fights, being a bully to other people in the dorm. Ridiculous. So if you can't follow rules in the jail, what makes you think you're going to come in here and I'm going to say, sure, go be on probation out in our community? After y'all shotgun, I mean, this is serious. I'm tired of the shootings. I'm tired of people, you could have killed somebody. And because you accidentally didn't kill somebody, you get to get a probation. Not today. If I could send you to ISF, I would consider it. I can't. At this point, I'm going to reject the plea agreements. We will set the cases for a review in about 30 days. Let's see where we are, go over his options, y'all talk. If I can always do, upfront time, but we've got to get to a certain point where that would make sense. And so at this time, I'm just going to reset the cases. Again, I'm rejecting these plea agreements. And let me tell you, you get more of these, it's only going to get worse. I'm going to see them. A jury's probably gonna see them if you, not probably, a jury will see them if you go to trial. And you're gonna end up in prison for up to 20 years because you can't follow the rules in our jail and you're acting like a little punk. So go stop acting like a punk, prove that you can behave, then we'll see what happens. When you come back next, I'll see how many of these I have. Go back with the bailiff.